So I'm back, and I know it's been a while since I've posted a LEGO City update, but I have really good reason on why I've been a little bit behind. And in this video here, we're gonna go ahead and explain that, and we're gonna talk about 3 new updates in this video. And that's correct, if you saw in the thumbnail and you even saw in the title of this video, we did build a brand new custom building, which we're gonna talk about at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's just jump into this video right away. And like always, if you do go on to enjoy this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this update and what you guys would like to see in the next LEGO City update. All right, so there's 3 things we're gonna talk about in today's video. The first one is more of a building technique that I'm gonna be implementing throughout the entire city. The second one is the introduction of a brand new modular building. And the third one is the introduction of a custom LEGO modular building, which I am so excited to share with you guys because I've worked, honestly, the last couple months, I was working on this build and it's something that I'm extremely proud of. And I think it's a great way to start up a custom build in the LEGO City. So let's dive right into this. So the first things first is you're gonna notice is that in my LEGO City, the one thing I'm trying to implement is actually making sure that everything that I build is built on a Mills plate. There's 2 reasons for this. When I moved from my old house to this house here, I didn't really like transporting all of my modular buildings on a regular base plate. For those of you who are expert LEGO builders, you would know that they are really flimsy. And for me, I like being able to have a sturdy base when it comes to moving these buildings around. I also feel like my LEGO City layout will change a lot and it's just way easier to move the LEGO modular buildings if they are on Mills plate. So the first modular building that we actually end up converting to a Mills plate was actually half of the bookstore. Honestly, there was no really rhyme or reason on why I specifically chose that one, but I did want to do half a Mills plate just so I can understand how the process actually worked. What I did notice is that it is pretty straightforward as long as you kind of do it in one sitting. The hardest part is honestly making sure you line up all the tiles properly, because the nice thing with the LEGO modular buildings is that they're built so that you can actually just remove the walls relatively easy, and there isn't really much of an issue as long as you just don't try to dismantle too many things. The hardest part I find was actually just going ahead and switching the tile pieces over from one base plate to the Mills plate itself. But overall, the process only took me, I think it was 30 minutes to do this one building here, which was actually really nice because I did actually end up buying more plates. So I will be building more Mills plates, and definitely in the next city update, you'll probably see more of the existing modular buildings that I have actually be converted to that. Because right now I've still got the Grand Emporium, I've got the other half of the bookstore, I've got the pet shop, I've got the greengrocer, and we also have some new modular buildings that we're gonna actually eventually end up building that I will build directly onto those Mills plates. So you're gonna see, I'm hoping by next episode that we'll have even more buildings included into our LEGO City. Overall, that is basically update number 1, is that the implementation of Mills plates or converting the existing modular buildings to the Mills plates has been successful so far, and we're gonna keep that going. So the second update for this video is the introduction of a brand new modular building. Now this modular building was released back in 2021, and it is the police station. This one was definitely on my bucket list for a very long time, especially because I have the old fire brigade modular building. So to be able to add the police station was something that I've always wanted to do. I think I ended up purchasing this one, I think it was about 1.5 years ago. I think that's when it retired in 2023, I want to say. I've honestly just been holding it just until I've moved to my new house, which I am right now. And so that is the first modular building we actually end up adding into our city. And I have to say, this is a beautiful building. For me, I really wanted to add the police station because I think in any city you need to have, I guess you can call it essential services. You got, in my case here, I've got the firehouse or the fire brigade, and then I've got a police station, and who knows, maybe I'll actually end up making a custom hospital one day. That could be an idea in the future for the LEGO City. So other than just looking at the modular building from the outside, let's actually talk a little bit about the stuff on the inside. I guess you can call this a little bit of a review, but it's more so just my opinions and also wanting to share what this modular building is, especially if people have never built it or have always wanted to build it or maybe missed out on it and we're curious what it looks like on the inside. Like I mentioned before, we're not going to go through all of the details for these modular buildings, but I figured I would go ahead and explain just kind of some highlights that I really enjoyed about this build, but then at the same time, some inspiration I had to actually finish my custom build, which I haven't said anything much about it, but I am super excited to show you guys. So we're not going to spend too much time on this one, but I did want to talk about a couple highlights that go with this build. Now, the first one right off the bat, believe it or not, is actually the staircase. Now, this was the first time I've actually ever seen this type of building technique done before, where basically they had studs on the wall, and then these pieces were kind of these angled 1x2 45-degree angle bricks. And I really like this idea, and I want you to think, just keep this in the back of your mind, because we do a similar idea when I go ahead and build my custom building. So it was one of those things that stood out for me right as I was building this, and it's something I really did enjoy. The other thing I really liked as well too was just the simplicity of the inside. What I thought was really nice about it is that they kept the tan color bricks throughout the entire main portion of the building. And what I like about the simplicity of this is because that is what a precinct should look like, especially if this is considered technically a 90s, or I guess it's earlier, probably like 50s, 60s police station. You also notice too, this is what I was talking about. I don't have any cool brick colors, so eventually I'm just going to tile this off as like dark bluish gray or some sort of tile piece. The second thing that I really liked about especially when we look on this main floor, and the reason why I separate is because it's a little bit too high for my desk to get the whole thing, but it's actually the newsstand. This is a really nice little detail that I really enjoyed. This is kind of one of those pieces where you don't really enjoy the details that go with it until you actually build it yourself. And just as simple as like this nice little roof build, I thought this was really unique and I really did enjoy it. And I thought that this was a nice added feature to this build, to this overall police station. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about here actually is in the donut shop specifically, it's actually how they display all of the donuts. And you'll notice in the back here, it's kind of like on an angle and they have all the different types of donut pieces, and like you've got different printings for donuts and cookies, and then you've kind of got like, I like to call them like the ice cream pieces. I know it's not necessarily the ice cream one, but I just call that anyways. And I really like that. I think that is such a nice way to display things. It kind of creates more depth in the building, and I like that a lot. So these are some of the highlights I just had in general when it comes to like the main floor of this building. So when we move on to the second floor of this building, there wasn't anything that really stood out that I was like, oh my God, that looks really cool in that sense, except for one thing inside the main building, which is it's the murder mystery boards. And I really like the addition of the elastics. I definitely like this concept a lot. And you're going to notice on how this is kind of mounted up on the wall. This is something that I kind of borrowed, we're going to say, this style of idea for my custom build. So again, think about that as well too when we go into the custom build as well. But this is kind of the main thing that really stood out for me. And the other thing too, this is not really something I implemented, but I love the idea of this bed kind of utilizing space, because you can basically pull it open and you can like walk into the donut shop. I thought that was kind of neat. I mean, obviously it'd be a weird design if that actually, was how it was designed in like the real world, but still thought it was kind of neat for like utilization of space. So the next one we're just going to jump on to quickly is the third part of the building, which is right here. Again, this is just a nice little typical floor. The only thing that I did actually enjoy was the detail of the water tank. I liked how it was kind of like a nice little micro build. You use like kind of those disc pieces to actually go ahead and build the water tower. I thought that was actually kind of neat. And then the last thing for me is actually the soap and slide sign. I thought that was so cool. These are not stickers. These are actually printed pieces, and I was kind of blown away by that. So definitely the soap and side, or soap and suds. Sorry, not soap and slides, soap and suds. Yeah, this sign here was definitely really cool. And I like that you can lift it up and down, especially if you take off this piece here. So then you can actually like lay this part down. And then honestly, for the roof itself, there wasn't really anything that was crazy, but I did have to remove the antennas just because my shelves are too small. So I just left them up on top there. And then the last thing I'll just make a quick little note on, I did enjoy the facade of the police station. I thought it was really nice, definitely fit the time period. And I like the fact that this is more the tan color because it let the kind of green size J extension of the building and the donut shop pop out, but then at the same time still make this the main focal point. So I think the color choice was really nice. I also like these little model details here just to make these textures. I thought that was really nice. And then the little AC unit that sticks out the window. I do like that. Now the last update of this video, which is the part that I'm so excited to present to you guys, which is the very first Lego custom modular building that I've made for this city. And I think it's a great introduction to this city and I'm super proud of it. So I basically ended up making Toys R Us out of Lego is the best way I can describe it. I don't actually have an official name of it, but we do have legitimate like Toys R Us stickers. And I'll explain to you how I got those for this build. And then on top of that, we do have official like Lego stickers that were actually part of a different set that I was able to combine together and actually build this set. So before we talk about the details of this set, how I got a lot of the inspiration was out here in Canada. I guess if you're watching this from the United States, I think a lot of the Toys R Us have closed down or it's maybe been closed down, but out here, especially like they're slowly starting to close down, which is really sad to see. And so what I really wanted to do was kind of make like a fun build to start off my Lego city. On top of that, after sorting through all my pieces, I noticed that I have so many different colorful pieces. So I figured what better building, especially if I don't have any like, a lot of like dark tan colors or dark bluish gray colors, or whatever it is, what better way to start a building than incorporating a lot of different colors, because that's what you would see at a toy store. It's kind of like that nice vibrant colors. And I think that would be a really, really cool design idea. So that was the big inspiration for starting this build. Let's just dive right into it because I'm so excited to show this to you. Like I said, I think I spent about a month and a half designing and building this building with all the pieces that I had. I was limited to certain pieces. Like for example, and I'll talk about this later on, like I ran out actually of certain tile pieces, but I kind of figured out a way to make it work. And let's just jump right into it because I'm so excited to show this to you guys. So this right here is the Lego Toys R Us, which is technically the first custom build as part of my Lego city. And I am extremely proud of this build. A big thing for me was integrate as many colors as I could within this build. And I'm super excited to show it off to you guys. So we'll start things off with just the outside of the building. You'll notice that we have the blue, we've got the yellow, we've got the red that really stand out. At least here in Canada, at least I find when I do go to Toys R Us, those are the three, obviously, you know, they are the primary colors, but those are the three primary colors that I definitely see. And it also helps too that within the Toys R Us sign, those are the colors that you would actually see. I guess the O is a little bit more orange, but we're going to call it yellow for the sake of it. What we're going to do is we're going to break it down floor by floor. But before that, I'll explain to you a little bit about how I was able to do some of this. Toys R Us, and I think they did this in Canada, is they actually released an exclusive Toys R Us set. That's how I was able to get these specific sticker pieces. They also released, I think it was the old Lego delivery truck as well. I don't know if that was exclusive to Canada. I'm pretty sure it was exclusive to like a lot of other places, but at least the Toys R Us one, I'm like 90% sure it was only exclusive in Canada. I remember there being some promo when I was younger and I actually went to Toys R Us and got it. But if I'm wrong and you guys were able to get that in the US, that's totally fine. I didn't research it, but I just remember seeing it somewhere online that it was like a Canadian exclusive thing, or maybe it was also European. I'm not totally sure. Anyways, so that's how I was able to get some of these specific printed pieces. So these are like legitimate like Lego products. It's not like I went and printed the stickers and put them on here, as cool as that would have been as well too, but these are technically legitimate stickers. So let's talk about the front facade to begin with. Like I was saying before, we used the primary colors, which is something that I really did enjoy. And then I kind of paired it with a lot of light grayish color. The reason why I want to go darker, but I don't actually have that many dark bluish gray colors. So these were actually the only two windows I had in light gray. And then these were the only two sets of windows that I had that matched each other with the yellow windows. And fortunately enough, I feel like it kind of worked out in the end, which I'm definitely very excited about. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this pieces apart and we're going to talk about each section of this build. The first floor for me is honestly the highlight of this entire build. This is something that I'm extremely proud of, and I'll explain to you all the little things I end up doing in order to make this Toys R Us possible. So first things first, you're going to notice is if you look at it from this direction, or in this case here, if you're looking from the front, you do have a door at the front with the yellow frame. You've also got two signature, I guess you can call them minifigure display pieces. And then on this side here, I think it's from Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's one of the pirates, I think. I just put him as a display piece just to kind of change it up. What you will notice is that the main level of this Toys R Us is actually Toys R Us, and then the upper level is actually going to be kind of like a Lego store. And I thought that was the best way to just kind of go about making this modular building. I want to have more of like a toy store area and then more of like a specifically Lego themed area. Now, remember I was telling you I took some inspiration from the police station. This is one of those things where it's like actually hanging some of the toys up onto the walls. And so the way that I actually ended up doing that is basically just adding 1x1 bricks and then using these kind of panel pieces and just attaching them on there. The reason why I kept the gaps is honestly I just thought it would look cool. So I don't know, something that was interesting and I thought it was really nice. I added different types of toys that were hanging up on the wall, and then I also have these two race cars that I think came from like an old Christmas set. When you do go over to this side of the build, you'll notice that there's, for example, you've got some Lego products on the back here. These were from that old delivery truck I was talking about. And then I kind of added like more games. I always find when you walk into toy stores, you always get like bumped into like the first thing that you would see. Like there's always something in the way when you walk through the door, and I really wanted to recreate that because I thought that would be like really cool in this sense here. And then obviously you got someone paying, you know, this kid ends up buying something and this person's paying in the middle, have a little bit of a story time. And then the other thing I did too is in this floor here, I did tile everything off. I really wanted to make some sort of cool pattern. When I was actually in London, I think they did this at Hamley's, where like a lot of the floors had these cool patterns, and I wanted to actually do different colors, but red was the one color I had the most tile of at this point, and the white and yellow was kind of the minimal. So I had to really play around with this and find a way to make this work. And I think I actually ran out of white tiles after making this. So you can see what I mean. I was pretty limited to different types of tile pieces. Now, the highlight is this staircase here. I took some inspiration from the police station just on how they actually ended up assembling it, but this is something that I am super proud of because I love the colors. I think the colors match really nicely with the trim up top as well. It does alternate, so you go like blue, yellow, green, red, and then it goes backwards from green, yellow, blue, and then back to red. This is something that I was so proud of making, and the way I did it basically is I attached a 1x4 tile piece to the back, and then I just reinforced the bottom of it, and that's how I was actually able to make it work. I thought it was something that was really fun to make. It took me a lot of iterations. You can tell like this whole side of the wall here is brick built just so I can get it right. And then yeah, the other thing I have too is in that back left corner there, you can kind of see that there is a door, and that's just kind of where you'd have storage. It's the only thing I can think of at this point too. So I thought that was really nice. And then so this is the main floor. Obviously this guy here has got to have a soccer ball that he just bought, and then you got a delivery guy coming in with more toy sets or Lego sets, or who knows, it's whatever your imagination is. And then that's like the Lego, that's the Toys R Us sign, which I'm super proud of. So this is the first floor. Now let's move on to the second floor. All right, so the next one here is specifically the Lego store. You'll notice that I've got similar of these kind of panel pieces that actually were part of the delivery truck. And I'll put little snippets of these up while you're watching this video just to see what Lego sets I'm talking about, but basically these came with that Lego set, so they're technically official Lego stickers. And so what I did is I made this upper floor more of like a Lego section. I tried to mimic, like, for example, if you had like a cool little display piece that had a bunch of random like little parts and stuff that you can rotate. On this side here, I did actually end up adding a wall, and then there's like a kid with his teddy bear. And then I really like this kind of crane set, which is I think the Technic one that is actually real. I think this was again from a holiday calendar. I didn't actually make this micro build, but I thought it'd just be cool to have a little display piece, and then especially when it's in front of the windows. You cannot have a Lego store without a pick a brick wall. Unfortunately, I was not able to put a sticker that says pick a brick, but imagine those red spots there as being the pick a brick wall, and then all of those little 1x1 circular studs is basically where you'd pick a brick. And then again, you've got another one of these panel pieces with the Lego sets. I actually ended up adding shelves. You can kind of tell with those like green pieces, that was something that I really wanted to do and just kind of change up how I did the shelving and everything there. And then I put another cash register and then just some extra toys up on the side there. This is what the front of it looks like. I thought it would be really cool to add some sort of flag detail. I really took this inspiration from the kind of having this part of the building stick out, again, from the police station, how you made these like little micro builds underneath the window. And then the last part of this build is the roof. And there's not really much to it except for this sign. And if some of you are like, well, I feel like I've seen this sign before. Well, you technically have. In my Lego city, the Grand Emporium is too tall for the shelving space, and I really wanted to reuse the sign because I feel like that was something that would look really nice for a toy store. So I did a little couple edits. I changed up some of the colors onto it, and then I just kind of repurposed it for this toy store build. I really wanted to have a sign, and I just felt like I couldn't throw this piece away, and I didn't really feel like there was any other way I can reuse it. So I made it a little bit more funnier, made it like a little bit more of like a remix, we'll call it. Just like that. It fits nice and snug on top of here, and that is basically the toy store. So I'm so proud to share this with you, and I really hope you guys do enjoy it. So the only thing that's left to do now is actually go ahead and place these buildings. So this is gonna be the start of the lower shelf of, I guess you could say, the straight shelving piece. It's gonna be on level 0 is what we're gonna call it. I don't know, we're gonna call it the ground level. It doesn't really matter, but this is gonna be the start of the downtown core city. So this is gonna be like the first set of modulars that we're gonna be putting there. I will actually end up making like custom mills plates so that they can fit within those gaps, and then probably add in like filler buildings of some sort. Not totally sure how I'm gonna do it, but eventually we'll figure something out that at least works, because unfortunately the spacing with those shelves isn't exactly like, you know, Lego base plate spacing, but it's, you know, it's close enough. So that concludes episode 2 of the Lego City update. I hope you guys did go on to enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think of my Toys R Us Lego toy store build, or I still don't really know what to call it. If it's gonna be called the toy store or it's gonna be called Lego Toys R Us, I don't really know. If you guys have any cool names that I can call that modular building, just let me know down below in the comments. You'll notice that placing these buildings right now, they might stay like this, but in the future I'll probably end up moving them around. We'll see what works for us, but I'm just really excited to finally get an opportunity to start the lower level of one of the shelves with these amazing builds so far. So this is definitely another big step for continuing this Lego City, and I'm very excited about it. I was so proud of building the Lego toy store. I was like so excited to show you guys, but unfortunately I just had to wait because, you know, August was a really busy month. You know, Lauren and I actually ended up getting married and everything like that too. So actually I did forget to mention that at the beginning of this video, but we did actually end up getting married, which is awesome. And if you do follow the Lego Passport Stamp Adventures, which I post every single Saturday, I'll leave a link down below in the comments. She's actually a huge help in going to all these different countries around the world and grabbing all these really cool stamps. So if you haven't checked out that series, make sure you just check it out. I'll leave a link down below in the description. But yeah, every single Saturday we post another episode where we're going around the world basically collecting Lego stamps. And if you didn't know you can do that, well, it's free of charge. Just go to any Lego store, get yourself a book, and you can start collecting stamps. It's pretty awesome, and it's something that's really cool to experience because all the different countries around the world have different types of stamps, and it's definitely something fun to add on to the Lego hobby as well. So yeah, with all that though, I hope you guys did go on to enjoy episode 2 of the Lego City update. I was so excited to make this video. I just like had so many other things going on in my personal life that I just couldn't go ahead and make it, but now it's finally done. I'm so excited that you guys were able to see the Lego toy store, and honestly for me it's a huge step into the Lego City because it's a way for me to create something that's definitely unique and different, and I'm so excited to share that with you guys. So if you guys do want to see more of this Lego content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, most importantly leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see me build next. And yeah, with all that, I'll see you guys next time for episode 3 of the Lego City update.